Today we are coming at you from the Mourjan Lounge at the Hamad International Airport here in Doha, Qatar. So we are currently in our layover to go to the Maldives for our honeymoon. I've had a lot of people ask, why would I want to go to a lounge in an airport? And so I've kind of come up with the reasons why we decided to do lounge access this time, so that you can hopefully try to figure out whether it's something that maybe you should try, or maybe you can just pass on it. It wouldn't be a good value for you. So stick around, and I'm going to go through the 5 reasons why you should be getting lounge access. So I think my number 1 reason for us doing lounge access today was value. Value can be either money or time, and in this case for us today, it's both. We have an 8-hour layover here in Doha before we can get on our next flight. So that's a lot of time to hang out in the airport, and for us, we felt like our time and comfort was absolutely worth the price that we paid to get in here. There's a couple of ways you can get into a lounge. Maybe you've gotten it through your seat ticket on the plane. Maybe you've gotten it through something like Priority Pass, where you can pay a fee up front and you can get lounge access afforded to you to spend throughout the year. Maybe you get it through one of your credit cards, your travel credit cards that you have. So for us today, at the time that we booked our flights, we booked a business class seat, which should get us into this lounge. But for Qatar, they have 3 different tiers on their business class seats. So the one that we chose was the more affordable, cheapest of the 3, and it did not include lounge access today. We went ahead and added that on. I think we got a deal for it at the time for like $65 a person. From what I was reading, it can be upwards of about $95 per person to get in here. But again, we have an 8-hour layover, so we really felt like even if we would have paid full price for it, it was absolutely worth it. And so to find out if value is going to be worth it for you, I'm going to go into my next reason you should get lounge access: food. In this lounge in particular, you have a few different options for food. One of them is a sit-down dinner that we did. They do breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. It's up on the 2nd level. You sit down, everything's included. So everything you see in this lounge is included in the price of your lounge access. So for us, we got, I had sushi, coffee, Jeff had some appetizers as well, and an alcoholic drink, and all of that was included. Another thing they have here is their deli. So I think this is more of maybe sandwiches or light snacks that you can get, and you can take them with you and sit around the lounge and eat. So that's another option that you've got. They've got various stations throughout the lounge where you can get juice, water, coffee, alcoholic beverages, things like that. So all of that rolled into the food and drink category, especially if you're going to be here a while and you're going to get your money's worth eating and drinking. I think that would be a really good value for you. The next reason I have for staying in a lounge would be comfort. Again, for us, being in an airport for 8 hours, comfort is key. Now, our bodies right now think that it's daytime, so we're trying to stay up and not actually take a nap. But here in this lounge, they do have quiet rooms and beds that you can go lay down at, and I believe that you can hang out in those rooms for up to 6 hours at a time. So for you to be able to come in here, eat, because we've already talked about that, and get something to drink for the full duration of you being in the lounge, and have a place to actually lay down and sleep for 6 hours, that to me is priceless. My 4th reason for coming into a lounge is storage and charging. For us, we've got a lot of electronics on this trip, and this lounge is so big, and it's not overrun with a ton of people. So at least for the moment, we have spaces all to ourselves. There's places we can put our bags. They actually have storage lockers if you'd like to rent a storage locker. We've got our backpacks, or if you had carry-ons that you could put in there as well, so you're not having to cart them around. And then also it's just plugs. Again, what we saw even when we were in Dallas and in here, we're not having to fight for plugs. And I think Jeff and I probably have at least 3 or 4 things a piece that we're needing to charge at once. So not having to fight for a place to sit, not having to fight for space that is your own, especially during COVID, and not having to fight for plugs is a convenience that I would happily pay for lounge access for again. My 5th reason for coming into a lounge would be showers. This lounge in particular does have showers. There's men and women that you can go into and get yourself hosed off, which really feels good after, like for us, we've been on a flight for 16 hours and now we're in an airport lounge for another 8. It's been a while since we've had a proper bath. So it's really nice. We may try to go get a shower, wash our face, brush our teeth, and get ready to get on this flight that leaves out at 1 in the morning, just so we can kind of feel clean and like ourselves again. So again, that just brings me back to value. So for us being here for 8 hours, I think it's a very good value for us. I think if you were going to be in an airport for less than 3 hours, I'm not sure that a lounge would be worth it. You also need to know what amenities your lounge comes with. I personally would not have paid for lounge access to the lounge we were at DFW. There wasn't much to offer there. The food wasn't that great. Maybe it's because of COVID, but at least for what we got at the moment, I probably wouldn't pay for that. Now, this lounge is beautiful. It's got a lot of amenities. It's got a sit-down restaurant. It has a deli, all of your food, drinks, a charging station, showers, places to put your bags, Wi-Fi, everything is included from the moment you step through the door. And so that can really make a difference in your trip, especially when you do have these long layovers and you're spending a lot of time in the airport. For us, comfort and time is like money to us. And so I think that that's what made this particular trip into this lounge absolutely worth it, would pay it again. Now, like I said before, there's a few different ways that you can get lounge access. One way would be through the ticket that you bought. Now, I have a Hilton credit card, and so when I got the Hilton credit card, it came with a Priority Pass that I get renewed every year. Now, the Priority Pass is something that you can pay for up front. They have different tiers. You can go to prioritypass.com. I'm going to put a link in the description below. But you can go there and just kind of see what different tiers they have. I know that the one that we have that was included with the Hilton is normally about $100 a year, but right now I think they're doing a special where it's $60 for a year. So $60 gets you into the Priority Pass lounges, and they give you a list of all the lounges that are included. And how that works is that you pay the fee, the yearly fee, whatever that may be. So let's say it's $60 now, and then you pay a discounted rate every time you come into the lounge, up to I think $10 a year. Now again, with Priority Pass and other lounge access passes, you can pay a little bit more and get maybe 10 or more, or all of your stays included. Some of them do also allow you to bring a guest in as well, so that's helpful if you're traveling with a companion, or maybe it's you and your spouse and your kids. Also make note when you're looking at lounges is, if you've got little ones, a lot of the ones that I've been seeing, if your kids are under a certain age, they get in for free. So that's pretty helpful as well. Like I said, if it were me and him, we've got a long layover, maybe we're a family and we've got children, and you just need a space to kind of sit all your stuff out and get something to eat and get a shower and get yourself together, maybe take a nap. This is a really good option. Think about how much you spend every time you go to the airport. Airport food, magazines, water, everything is jacked up on the prices. And so if you think about how much you're probably going to spend while you're here at the airport, it'll help you kind of calculate whether the price for the lounge access would be a good value for you. So for Jeff and I, you've got 2 people. We're probably going to have more than one meal here because we are here for so long. Meals for each of us might be $10 to $15 a piece, and that's on the cheap side. If we were to go sit down at a restaurant, I'm looking at probably $30 just for myself alone. Alcoholic beverages, You know, those can run you somewhere around $10 a piece, depending on what you get. Desserts, coffee. Coffee is $5 or $6, even back in the United States. Think about all of the time you'll be here and how many meals and how many drinks and how many coffees do you think that you're going to spend up, and then add all that up and decide whether the $65, for instance, to get into this lounge that we paid is a good value for you. And then you can just tack on the other amenities that come with it, like the showers and places to hold your stuff. You've got premium drinks, you've got premium food, there's a sushi bar, there's a place to lay down and sleep. All of that absolutely made this just a no-brainer for us. So I want to know, have you stayed in a lounge before? What is your favorite lounge that you stayed in? And do you think that they're a good value for money? What would be one of the things that would entice you to maybe look into a lounge on your next vacation? Otherwise, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get an alert every time I list a video. And come over and follow me on Instagram at Go Travel with Staci. All right, well, that's all on this video. Bye.